Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wrassle Graps. My name is Chris,
My name is Vincent.
and today we're here talking about AEW Grand Slam. That's right, AEW Grand Slam took place on Saturday, not Collision. There is no Collision branding on the show anywhere besides HBO Max, but that's incorrect because they didn't say anything about Collision.
Yeah, I thought it was correct. I mean, I clicked on AEW Collision and brought me right to Grand Slam. So I feel like it was Collision.
You know, call it what you want, call it Collision, call it Grand Slam, which, by the way, I
Go
looked
Wheeler.
it up. Oh, good for you. I looked it up, and apparently Australia does have baseball, so they would understand Grand Slam.
Really, you didn't think Australia had baseball? Don't you
We were
know it's
talking.
Australia's biggest game or whatever?
That cannot be true.
That's Australia's game, baseball. Yeah,
That's gotta be a lie.
that's true. Yeah.
You gotta be lying to me right now. I just don't believe it.
Hey, okay, if you were to take a guess at what Australia's biggest sport is, what do you think it is?
Rugby.
Well, I thought you were going to say something like throwing kangaroos or something like that, you know? But
Well, that's just offensive. Is that what you thought it was?
it's just a joke, Australians. Don't be too offended.
Man, next you're gonna say something about competitive Vegemite eating. Make it even
Okay,
worse.
that's probably a real thing. I mean, that's probably actually a thing. Because not only is it like, it's like really gross to eat, right? So
That's what I've
not
heard.
everyone can stomach it. But I think Australians can. So it's kind of like one of those things, you know.
I guess so. Much like
You get the foreigner that comes in. He doesn't know anything about it. He starts eating. He fucking starts vomiting. The other guy's just fucking eating Vegemite like crazy.
Vegemite gobbler over there.
And that would be
It's really,
something. Actually, I would watch that. You know,
some would say, it's a perfect metaphor for Tony Schiavone commentary.
Tony Schiavone
Some would say
is
that
the
some
worst
people
commentator.
can stomach it, but for most people, it's just not working.
I mean, some people didn't know that we had Wrassle Graps Awards. You know, for
You know,
2025. You know,
no, can I just say, we did have Wrassle Graps Awards. Um, one of the categories was best podcast, best wrestling podcast, and we, I nominated only us and nobody else. And you know what? By default, we won that.
wow, that's surprising. I'm not gonna lie, it surprised me when I heard it.
Well, you know what
You know,
won't
I'm
surprise.
honored. I'm honored to be the winner of Best Podcaster 2025.
I'm gonna stop you real quick before you get into it too far, because you know what? Since we were the only people in there, we're also the worst podcast by default.
That's your fault, man, because you made the awards, man. That's your fault.
I know, I know.
Well,
I
then
was
that's
gonna.
two awards, though. That's two awards. It doesn't matter what they are, you know.
That's very true, right there. It's about the quantity, not the quality.
Right, right. But what I was trying to say was that, you know, who won the worst commentator of the year?
Well, I know from other questionable websites it was Booker T, but I know
No,
from the correct awards it was Tony Schiavone.
it was Tony Schiavone. That's why all my homies hate that guy. Of course he did. Of course he
4
won that.
years going strong, still ate him.
Tony Schiavone, expect it in the mail soon. You'll get the award. Um, expect it in like 100 business days. All right,
That's right. To your mailbox, straight to your trash can, right there.
right. There you go.
But anyway, that's enough rambling. Let's kick into the show. Starts off Moxley and Takeshita. What a fantastic opener.
I thought it was a good opener. It was quick paced. I think John Moxley really gave it his all. Did some crazy moves. That suicide dive that he did was pretty crazy. Uh, and Takeshita's Takeshita. He's just really good in the ring, you know.
Very true. And I think this is a great sample for the pay-per-view match we will get between them in March. And I can't wait.
I was really looking forward to getting Okada and Takeshita. I
Well, you
really
know what?
didn't want to see a time limit draw in this match, so that we get another match between them.
I've been waiting for Takeshita Okada for about a year now. And I'm convinced it's just not going to happen at this point. Because
I'm just saying, like, how long are we gonna fucking do this? You know?
Tony Khan, the little trickster that he is, a little prankster. Some will call him best booker of the year, but that's just because there's not a lot of competition. You know, he's just over there, he's playing with me, and I don't like it.
I don't. I look. I also don't like it. He needs to fucking chop on the storylines. Get to the point.
I mean, if it's not by double or nothing, I don't know how much longer I'm waiting for this thing.
Yeah, man. What the fuck's going on? I've been waiting my whole life for this.
I've been waiting the past year for this. I'm gonna be honest because I know for a fact that when you were born in May of '02, you did not know about Takeshita or Okada.
Now I knew about one thing, and that was that all my homies hate Tony Schiavone.
Well, that's generational. That's common knowledge.
Yeah.
But like you said, this match went to a draw, and like I said, we're probably getting a second one at Revolution. But for now, the match goes to a draw, and then to send the
Boo,
fans home
boo,
happy, Takeshita,
boo.
it's a raging fire on Moxley. So we'll get another match between them.
Yep, they went home right after this, and they went home happy.
Well, if they did, they would have missed all the other action on the show. But if they stayed, they also would have seen the Statlander Tekla promo that came right after this.
Right, that they saw that. Whatever they said, they said. I forgot what they said, to be honest.
So Tekla was happy about becoming champ. She talked about how she beat Big Stat Daddy, as she's commonly known.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh yeah, and she was like crazy. She was like a lunatic. She was a psychopath. I don't know. All the words they represent crazy person.
sure. And she basically was happy about winning the title. Statlander very upset, said she's coming after Tekla again.
Oh yeah, she was like depressed and shit, like emo style.
I guess. I mean, I wouldn't call that emo, but
Oh, really?
I didn't see any Hot Topics or Spencer's gifts in sight.
You
I
don't
didn't
think that she
see.
was wearing something from Hot Topic? You don't think that?
I can't prove it.
I think she's. I think she was. I think it was just a small element on her outfit, but I think it was there.
I don't know how you'd know that. I don't know who you have, and I don't know who your
I'm
source
just
is.
guessing. I'm just guessing.
You sounded very convinced. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I just I guess and I make it seem like it's news, and that's what I do.
Classic Dave Meltzer approach. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Moving forward here, we get to Mega Bad versus the Babes of Wrath.
Mega Bad. I like
Surprisingly,
the name Mega Bad because it's like super bad, but it's Mega Bad. You feel me?
it does remind me of the movie Super Bad, and then I think of that scene from the movie, the McLovin scene, and then I'm like, man,
There's a couple scenes.
really? In my opinion, it's one scene.
There's a couple scenes, man. I saw like 2 scenes.
Okay, but anyone who's seen the movie, and I don't know if this is a hot take or not, it might be. Anyone who's seen the movie knows that the subplot with McLovin and the cops is the best part of the movie.
I've only seen half the movie, so does that count?
No,
No. Well, I mean, I haven't seen shit.
because you have to go in like I did, listen to people say, "Oh, it's fantastic comedy, it's an awesome comedy," then you sit through it all 2.5 hours, and then you say to yourself, "This kind of mid." There is some stuff,
I
but I
didn't
don't
hate it
care.
when I saw it.
You have to sit through the part where a woman sits on um, Jonah Hill's leg and gets period blood on him. You have to sit through that, and then you have
That's
to say to
insane.
yourself, you have to say to yourself what I said to myself was, "Man, that kind of wasn't all that funny, like at all."
Yeah, it sounds kind of edgy in my opinion, but I
It
haven't
really
seen
was.
it.
But back to this match here. Surprisingly, I thought Mega Bow was going to win this. They didn't, though. Um, it was Babes of
No.
Wrath.
Yeah, so it was kind of surprising, but I mean, it wasn't really. I kind of figured that Willow and Megan, not Willow and Megan, what's her name? Harley. Willow and Harley were gonna win.
So you thought the retention was going to happen? You knew about it?
No, I thought it was gonna happen. I felt it in my soul, like Cody Rhodes.
Adrenaline?
No, no.
Listen, feel what you want, but I'm going to have to ask that you don't go around calling yourself Raheem.
Well, I'm not gonna do that. That would be crazy, crazy talk.
I'm going to need you not to do that because, it's not going to be good for the brand.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I would never do that.
It's you know it's
Cody
funny
Rhodes
as
Cody Rhodes would do that.
because some people they get called it on the internet and they say to themselves, man, you know people really believe that, I'm gonna lean into it, and all of a sudden it goes from being
Okay.
funny
Yeah.
to concerning that he really believes it.
Very strange stuff. Very strange. Very weird.
It's very surprising, just like Lena Cross coming back and
I mean,
attacking Liz
debuting?
Ra- I see. I thought it was debut, but then someone said that she came back in return. So
No, it was a
maybe,
debut. This is the first time she ever been on the show.
well, then Twitter lied to me like always.
And guess what? She's Australia's own, but you would not be able to tell because no one cared.
I thought it was because no, she didn't speak and I couldn't hear her talk. So like, how would you know?
I mean, because she was wrestling in Australia. So you'd think someone would see her wrestle and say, that's her, that's Cross.
Yeah, but like there was other people wrestling in Australia who weren't naturally Australian.
But I don't know, man. I feel like they would just be the biggest audience that would pop for her. You feel me? Because I don't know who the hell she is, but I'm sure she's good.
I'm just saying, Hangman was there, and he is not Australian.
He's not Australian, but she's Australian, and they didn't care about her. I mean, so what's that about?
It's very true. What's going on with that? Australian fans, if you're listening, what's the deal with that?
Apparently, I heard they definitely did pop and whatnot, but we definitely didn't hear that. So
This is a fucking WrestleMania crowd all over again. Oh, we were loud. You just didn't hear us. You didn't do the audio right. They stop lying to me, man. What are you doing?
yeah, I feel like they're lying because there's no way. You know what I mean? If they popped, it would have been heard. You know? Of
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't believe that. It's
Yeah, of
absolute propaganda.
course it is. It's probably Tony Khan on his burner account.
Yeah, it's Tony Khan. Me personally, I was in the audience and I popped. We all popped as a group collectively, super loud.
Why are you wearing a wig, Tony? Nothing.
Tony, you're posting a tweet. You don't have to disguise yourself to put a tweet out there. No one's gonna see. It's really weird
Right.
behavior, Tony.
It's the hair versus hair match coming up next.
That's actually incorrect. That's a match from now.
No,
But before
my
even that match, we get to Ricochet.
Ricochet. Oh, yeah, Ricochet. Not Ricochet. It's my bad.
That's this is Javon Evans' burner account.
Probably. Yeah.
He's talking about Jack Perry and he threatens him. He says, "Buddy, you know, um, what did he say? I thought I know what he said. Why did I forget what he said?
I thought you knew what he said too, man. You sounded very confident. You were like, I don't know.
What I do sometimes, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, is I'll just talk and do like the word, the bridge words like or or I'll do like, and I'll try to give myself my brain some time to process it, so maybe it'll figure it out. And it's
Oh, it
really
was
a
about Jack
50-50 thing.
Perry. It's about
I
Jack
know
Perry.
it was about Jack Perry, but I forget exactly what he said. I know he threatened him. I just forgot the exact verbiage.
I don't know either, but I don't want to make anything up because it'll just put words in his mouth.
Sure.
I'll say he was probably talking about his legacy and how Jack Perry has no legacy and he'll never have a legacy. That's probably what he said.
I think it was something along the lines of, I'm really great. I have a fantastic legacy. Even though they tried to kill it over in WWE, those pieces of shit, I hate it. But it's good now. It's
And
great. Don't worry about
Apollo Cruz has no legacy too.
it. And then Apollo Crews, you could hear him in the background saying, "Why'd you say that about me for? I'm not even involved."
Apollo.
You could hear that in the background.
Yeah,
As he then goes on, he says, "By the way, Jack, something terrible is going to happen to you, something really, really bad." And so if something happens to him, you know who did it.
he's calling his shot, man.
Just like an Impact wrestler.
Yeah.
Think they'll do that in Impact anytime soon?
No, I don't know if they will, but they did the
They'll
feast
call
or
their
fire,
shot.
so the feast or fire.
No, but like they do call your shot, but instead of a match, it's actually just attempted murder.
Oh, maybe. TNA is not really very popular these days. I'm sure they'll do whatever they want or whatever they have to do.
I mean, I would start doing things. They're in a rough spot.
They just lost the Iconics, the inspiration.
I saw that no surrender card and it looked terrible.
Man, I liked it, man. I liked that promo, the one I saw from them at the AEW thing, AEW show.
I had no idea what you're talking about, but whatever.
The inspiration. What do you mean?
I'm talking about the no surrender card, bro. What are you talking about?
No surrender card. I was talking about the inspiration. Why did you go to the no surrender card?
I just said, they're in a rough spot because you said they're in a rough spot. They lost the Iconics, and I said, yeah. And also, I saw that no surrender card. It looked pretty terrible.
I didn't see the no surrender card. I don't know what you're talking about.
And then you start going on about AEW promos, and I'm like, who in TNA is cutting AEW promos?
That's a good point. I mean, who is doing? Probably AJ Francis. I would assume
And like, he would do that. Actually, that's very true.
he'd do that. But yeah, I was gonna say everyone's hating on the inspiration right now, but I feel like they're gonna be a good talent. At least entertainment wise, they'll be entertaining.
I mean, I have nothing against him.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I
If,
wish I knew what Ricochet actually said, but I don't know.
well, it doesn't matter. We're moving on to Hangman and Andrade.
Right. Andrade, I wanted Andrade to win this match. You know what I mean? There's no other way around it.
You honestly, I this is a match that I saw and I said I don't know if I want to see either of these matches, but the match itself was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
The thing is, I wanted Andrade to win, but I knew that Hangman Page was going to win. And that was the unfortunate truth of the matter. Don Callis was also here as well.
He was here. That's correct.
And he did some distraction work, I think.
I think it
But it
was
went
around
well.
this time that I realized that Taz wasn't around, and that really bothered me.
Yeah, sometimes it's not everyone can make the flight to Australia.
All
Or
right, but
maybe he
like,
was just competing in one of those kangaroo throwing competitions.
oh, the Vegemite eating.
And the Vegemite eating right afterwards. It's got to be you have to be a real athlete to do that.
You think he's the Joey Chestnut of Vegemite eating?
I think he can put some down. I think so.
Do you think he's putting them down like that? I don't know. I think if you're from New York, your palate just don't work like that. But then again, he's
I don't think
Italian,
so. Yeah, he's
and some
Italian.
Italians do like that broccoli rabe, and it can't be worse than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he can do it, man. If
As a
anyone
matter of
can, it's
fact,
Taz.
based off that logic, I think you should put some down too. Honestly,
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not touching the
I
Vegemite
think you
because
could.
I'm scared of the Vegemite. I'm not gonna lie.
You're scared of Vegemite, but broccoli rabe is a no problem for you.
I like that. It's not that. Yeah, it's not bad, man. It's not the same thing as Vegemite, bro. Come on,
It can't be much different.
not at all, man. You put that on a fucking sandwich with some chicken cutlet. Come on
You
now,
just ruined a perfectly good sandwich and perfectly
mozzarella.
good chicken cutlet. You ruined
Okay.
all of it just by putting it on there.
No, it's fucking. It goes together like something that goes together. You know.
Everyone knows, and this might be a hot take also. I don't know, but I think everyone knows that broccoli rabe is like putting that on a sandwich is like inviting the nerd to the party and not telling anybody that he's coming.
That's lettuce. I hate to tell you, but it's lettuce.
It is not lettuce because you could
That's
put
fucking
lettuce there.
lettuce is
Ooh,
okay, but lettuce is
no.
crunchy ass water. I don't know what to tell you.
Lettuce is the friend at the party that you don't even know he's there, and he's not hurting anybody, and his
He's
presence
hurting
isn't hurting
everybody
anybody
because
else.
there's too much fucking lettuce and not enough anything else.
Well, I think you're just doing sandwiches wrong.
That's what they do. They do the sandwich roll. Italians don't do sandwich roll. Case closed.
That's very true. I can't argue that.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, most people who do the broccoli wrap sandwich are above the age of 40.
Yeah, I started liking it when I was like 18, probably. I mean, as soon as you hit adulthood, that's when you start liking.
That's overachieving, honestly. And I think, in a way, I'm proud of you for overachieving and doing this so early in life. But also, I don't know how to feel about it.
You have to start eating it, man. You'll learn. You'll be like, oh,
I
it's pretty good.
would rather take a picture in front of a Cracker Barrel with a previously disgraced professional wrestler.
And back to the match. Back to the match. Yeah,
All right.
okay, so
Speaking of
Andrade
taking pictures in
picture
front of Cracker Barrels with uh, questionable wrestlers,
speaking of pictures with questionable things, Andrade had a fan in the crowd. It was apparently in Australia. I don't know. allegedly Australian person. He finds women everywhere, this guy Andrade. He's a chick
Well, he's
magnet.
just a random woman. What do you mean questionable thing?
I'm trying to fuck it. It wasn't really okay. Look, I might take that one back, but I was just trying to, segue my way into this whole match because we're not talking about the fucking match. You know,
Sometimes the segues they don't land, and that's just one of those times.
that's true. That's one of those times. But you know what? Let's get back to the match. Andrade versus the
All right,
picture.
okay.
Okay, come on.
So he takes a picture with her, but then Hangman takes down Andrade, and then Hangman goes, "You want a picture with me? I don't have a Cracker Barrel sign here, but you want that picture?" And she says, "All right, I'll take the picture." So I take the picture, then they continue the match, and then Hangman wins.
Exactly. Exactly. This time he didn't take a picture with someone uh, with the likes of Marty Skrull. Instead, he took a picture with hopefully an innocent woman. So that's
Well,
a
you
step
hope,
up, I suppose. Yeah.
but like you're saying, we don't really know. She could be worse.
Who knows who she is? If she's a demon.
And in a way, I think that's funnier.
Yeah, maybe he should stop taking pictures, actually. Hangman Page should just not pick up cell phones anymore. I think he needs to not do that.
I think that's look. It's not the best gimmick to do, but I'd find it funny if he had a gimmick where he keeps accidentally taking pictures with terrible people.
Well, okay, I wouldn't look. At this point, Hangman Page probably shouldn't bury himself any further.
Okay, yeah, he shouldn't, but I'd find it funny.
Right. Right. It might be a little funny, but I suppose I wouldn't necessarily be a fan of it.
Would you not like? Okay, hypothetically, Hulk Hogan's still around. Hypothetically, and for some reason, Hangman just doesn't recognize that it's Hulk Hogan. He just thinks it's a random old man,
Now,
and he
Hulk
just
Hogan
takes
is
a
dead,
picture.
so
But hypothetically, though,
uh, that'd be crazy. That just means he's unaware. He's very unaware.
do you think that? And this is the last question about this, and we get back to the show. Do you think if he keeps doing it unintentionally, but this time it's unintentionally, do you think that it just
So
shows that he's a terrible judge of? Okay,
he's a terrible judge of character.
do you think it's a terrible judge of character? Or do you think it's people look at him like, oh, he just doesn't know?
I don't know, man. I feel like they'd just be like, "You're a fucking idiot."
Like assuming he didn't say what he said, like assuming he never said anything about the other picture.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it's a stupid gimmick.
Let us know in the comments below. Speaking of fun gimmicks, though, that's the segue right there. That's how you do it. Yuta and Marina Shafir going up against Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm.
I wanted to talk about. Are you fucking excited to see Hangman Page and MJF again?
No,
No, exactly. I mean, I don't think anyone. I wouldn't say anyone really is. I haven't seen anyone really hyped about it.
I think in the current climate that we're at, and with all that did come out of that picture, I think it's a very weird choice to then push Hangman Page still.
That's true. I wouldn't have done it. I suppose the only real thing there's I guess a story there that there isn't with Andrade. But I feel like Andrade is just the best opponent or better opponent. I want to see fight MJF, but he obviously didn't win. I'm not sure if he'll be back in that position anytime soon where he could win a match to get a number contendership. But we'll see.
It's a fair point. I mean, some could say maybe, that's just the original plan and that's what they went with. And based on what we see in the past, it is actually scarier when Tony Khan tries to backpedal and try to book on the fly. So maybe this is just for the best.
Right. I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, this is all probably written down ahead of time. Hopefully,
Never forget.
you would assume, but you don't know.
Never forget when Adam Cole got injured and he had to book the devil gimmick on the fly.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't do good with plan Bs. He has no plan Bs. He doesn't actually have a list of plan Bs.
Never. Never a plan B.
But yeah, definitely not the most interesting outcome here of this little tournament they did.
Fair point. Now on to the tag match. Very fun match. A lot of cool stuff here, and ends with a semi-bald Wheeler Yuta.
Semi-bold Wheeler Yuta. Yeah, that's true. That was the most scary thing about this show, actually.
That scared you.
It was scary, man. You see a Wheeler Yuta bold before?
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, it's a fun match. Wheeler did take the pin. Tries to escape, but unfortunately, John Moxley tells him, not only are you a man of your word, Wheeler, if you're in the Death Riders, you got to be a man of your word. But like, I'm bald and Claudio's bald. So like, what's so wrong with being bald? And he, instead of trying to explain what the problem is, he said, I'd actually much rather just get it done with than being physically assaulted by Claudio and Moxley.
Right. I mean, I would have fired Wheeler Yuta on the spot if he didn't get his haircut.
But I think we talked about this yesterday. I think you just have a problem with Wheeler.
Yeah, I don't like Wheeler Yuta. Is what it is. I mean, you don't like Wheeler Yuta either.
This, well, not to the extent that you do. Like, this is the first time I've seen a wrestler come out, have cool theme music, and then I've actually heard someone say, "That's too good for him." Def Rebel him immediately.
He needs it, man. That's what he needs.
Never have I once heard someone beg for someone to get Def Rebel. That's a first.
Fits him better than what he has. I mean, really.
Just let him have something, okay? He's bald now. He doesn't have the hair. Just let him have something.
Should shave his fucking face too, man.
Well, they did.
They should have.
You should write a strongly worded letter to Tony Gunn right now. Tell him to do that.
I'll try.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, let's advance over to the ladder match. Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher, number 7. I wasn't looking forward to a 7 match between these two. I guess because it's been 6 matches previous. I'm ready to move on from this, and I'm also not a big fan of what they did to Tommaso Ciampa, but that's another story for another.
Where the fuck is Tommaso Ciampa? Where was he?
Nothing to do with this match, which is surprising to me.
I expected to see him here in this match because why would you make him lose the title after how many days? I don't know. A small amount of days, and then just he never appears again. You know?
Hopefully they rectify that on Dynamite. I'm trying to see him come back and get that rematch with Fletcher, but in the meantime, Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher had a really cool ladder match.
They did have a good match, man. Crazy spots out the wazoo. Um, Froggy bow on the ladder, but the ladder doesn't break. That was cool.
Forgot to gimmick that one.
Yeah, I forgot that one. There was other ones that did break. Luckily, I assume that's better than ladders not breaking.
Well, yeah, because then when the person crashes down on top of you, it absorbs the weight more than if it just didn't break.
Why are you talking about people like they sponges, man?
Talk about ladders like they're sponges.
Oh, really? So you think a ladder's a sponge, huh?
Could be.
Think it's just like a big sponge.
Hypothetically, scientifically, and I'd also dare to say mathematically, potentially.
Right. Now you're a mathematician all of a sudden. Okay.
And dubiously.
But did you mention Okada? Like how he's not able to interfere?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So before the match, they show a little video of Kyle saying, "Hey, Okada, don't interfere in my match, please." And Okada said, "Okay."
Good. Yeah. And then he didn't interfere in this match. He didn't really have to because Kyle does walk out with a W.
He does. And they don't show it on the programming for some reason. But apparently, he brought back the pink TNT belt.
Was I just cooked during this shit? Okay, this doesn't even make any sense, man. What the hell?
The pink TNT belt?
No, that's cool. I like the pink TNT belt for Kyle. I saw a tweet today. It said like, "Oh, it's better with a white, like a white color instead of the red color in the middle." And then I was like, "Yeah, it's probably true." You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my notes here it says cool spots going through later.
You're preparing for when they go to Germany. That's the problem.
I was just thinking about the future during this match.
Thinking about later hosing, he said, "Man, if the show, this would have hit like crack if it was in Germany.
Yeah, Berlin, Germany.
This shit would have hit hard, man."
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, while he was busy thinking about that, we're moving on to the MJF Brody King match. And you know what? Pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, MJF Brody King once again, but this time in a real match for reals.
For reals, no burials, straight up 25-minute match.
Yeah. I mean, there's a point where Bandito makes an appearance here, and he starts rooting for Brody King.
He does apparently. He has a broken finger. You said.
Yes. I have some bad news. I
What's the
have some
bad?
real bad news.
Oh fuck!
Apparently, Brody King killed MJF.
What the hell?
My notes,
Wrassle
man.
Graps
Brody King kills
exclusive.
MJF.
Dave wishes he were born to murder, bro. What the fuck?
I just checked Google. He's alive. He's alive.
Oh fuck! That was a very good educated guess, much like Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, man. I tried to, guess, but I guess I was a little wrong. I
You
guess.
did the Dave Meltzer strategy. You just threw it out into the world and hoped it was correct.
Yeah. Maybe if I worded that better, I would have had some better scoops there.
Yeah, well, now you know what it's like.
True.
So MJF ends up beating the very alive MJF
Yes, he
ends up
was alive and he won.
ends up beating Brody King to end the
Yeah.
show.
Definitely a good match. I'll say it was a good match.
I agree. I often underestimate Brody King for some reason, but every time he gets in there, he always proves me wrong. I'm happy to say that.
Yeah, for sure. I don't underestimate Brody King. I don't really underestimate many people. I definitely have high expectations of Brody King, and he always meets them, I'd say.
I I mean, it's something about it. Ever since he had that promo where he's like, they have two of the best wrestlers in the world on their team, but I have one of the best in my team too. And he wasn't talking about himself. I looked at him, I was like, why'd you say that?
I wouldn't say he's the best on the mic, only because he's such a big guy where he
Hmm,
just doesn't sound like that threatening on the mic.
right.
And that's why I don't really fuss with him on the mic like that. But I think that in the ring, he can back it up with his style of wrestling and with his look and this and that. I think he's decent on the mic. I'll say that.
That's pretty true. And overall, that'll do it for AW Grand Slam. Let's
Yeah,
get to
let's
the
go.
ratings.
Rating system. Time to
Rating
spin the
system.
wheel.
We're not spinning the wheel, it's not random.
I got this mixed up then.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, while you think about it, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say that this, for me, is a double thumbs up show.
Look, man, I don't know if I should give it a double thumbs up, man. I don't know.
Look, this is as close to pay-per-view quality as you could get from a free show on television.
This was the best collision episode I've ever
This
seen.
was not a collision episode.
It's the best collision episode I've ever seen.
Spreading
I feel like there's better
misinformation.
dynamites out there, on a given week. It's
I
definitely
agree.
felt like
Just
a pay per
Dave
view.
Meltzer.
It definitely felt like a pay per view, but it wasn't a pay per view. Was there any title changes? No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't know, man. And then the debut that didn't have any reaction whatsoever.
that
Uh,
was Australia's fault.
Australia really let us down.
They
You'd
let
think
down that poor girl.
you'd think when their best sport is throwing kangaroos, they'd be a little more alive than they were.
They let that girl down. That was not AW's fault.
I think I would be disappointed with myself if I didn't give it a double thumbs up. I honestly,
There you go. I brought him back around.
yeah. Because I feel like I would be like too much of a snob if I just gave it like a thumbs up. You know what I mean?
Like, it's fine to be, you saw it. You said, man, that was really great. And I got this for free. It's fine to say, hey, that was a fantastic show.
Right. Because you don't know how to grade, because it's just a fucking TV episode. You know what I mean?
For all the
So it's like
gripes,
if we're grading like a TV episode, it has to have like segments, it has to have like promo work, and it was just like a pay per view. So I don't know. I guess double thumbs up is perfect for that.
But the reason it's fine is because, yes, they didn't have the segments, but like you said, it was like a pay-per-view. So they actually did so much more than they had to do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I do agree with that.
And for all the crap that we give AEW, deservedly so, I'm fine to give them this one.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking
All
about.
Alrighty, you guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to this review. If you want more Wrassle Graps, make sure to check us out on the social medias. Very active on there is this one, especially the threads. And if you're listening on a podcasting platform, please give us 5 stars. Greatly appreciated. And if you're listening on YouTube, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you thought. But for now, that does it for us. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.